Hey everybody, welcome back to Meet the Wheelers. I'm Mason, and my wife Sarah is not here. She is busy today, and the timing of everything that today has been really weird. We got like zero sleep last night. We're house sitting, and my parents, who were house sitting for, got delayed. Their flight got canceled, and so they didn't come in until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and so I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I've been feeling sick, and so I'm at home just kind of feeling like crap, and she's out running errands and um, doing stuff that she's committed to today on her day off. But I wanted to spend some time talking with you guys because we talk a lot about the drugs, about the um, process, about the procedures, about how everything makes Sarah feel, and that's a humongous part of that, and that's a lot of something that you guys really relate with. But I also wanted to kind of take a little bit to talk about the man's perspective, or the person who's not going through IVF's perspective as well, because it's a totally different animal. And I wanted to just kind of tell you guys how I've been doing, how I've been feeling, and just share that a little bit. And I wanted to encourage you guys to ask questions in the comments down below, specifically to me or to my experience, because one thing that you don't think about is how this whole process affects the guy, because it's kind of overshadowed by how big of a deal it is for the girl and how much it's doing to their body, and how that plays into emotions and hormones, and but this very much has played a humongous role in who we both are together and in my life in general. First off, I'll say this has been one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. Not physically, but emotionally and spiritually. I've just been challenged at every turn to believe and have hope and faith, and in doing so, it's made me stronger in those areas. I never thought I'd have to deal with this, but as the man, it is my primary job in this process. And if you're watching this, men, it is your primary job to support your woman, your wife, or your girlfriend, or whatever. This is going to be the hardest thing that they'll ever have to do, because being a mom, for most women, especially women doing this, is so hardwired into their DNA, and it's just such a dare I say it, evolutionary imperative to have children. And for them, the inability to do so is heartbreaking. It's not just like, oh man, I really wish that I could. No, it's like, I mean, for Sarah, it's her only desire has been to be a mom. Like, she has other ambitions, but that's what she wants to do with her life. And when you tie up your identity into something like this, and you're told that you can't, not because you're unwilling to, but because you physically can't, that's really, really hard. And you're gonna have to be there for her, and you're gonna have to confirm her identity in something other than that, because she is bigger than that, and it's something so important and so core. But it's going to be a challenge. The whole process does affect men too. I'll be real with you guys. The whole process of having to deal with the testing, semen analysis testing, and the collection is an awkward and unusual process. The TV depicts it in certain comedic situations, and it's really awkward. And I'll be real, it's not. You can't compare any awkwardness to handing somebody a sample in this context. But when you compare that sort of awkwardness and uncomfortableness, men, to the crap that people have to deal with, or the crap that, you know, women undergoing the transfer and everything have to deal with, it doesn't even compare. So just suck it up and deal with it. That's my best advice, is to just try and make it as normal as possible. Try and realize and remember what you're doing this all for. You're doing this to create life and a family and to bring joy into the world. And so it might seem awkward and, you know, just uncomfortable and comedic, but just try and your life's gonna change. Like, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would talk so openly and so casually about Sarah's period. Like, I seriously never ever thought that that would be the case, because it was just for, you know, you're young and you're just growing, and it's sort of, you're immature, and this is like the biggest. I feel like I've aged 10 years in the year that we've been doing this whole process, and it's just it's life changing. And some of you guys are older, and this is sort of like you guys have been with your spouse or your significant other for a lot longer, and so it might be a different experience. So just take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because every relationship is different and every experience is going to be different. But my biggest role in this whole process has been support, and Sarah has supported me for sure, because especially dealing with miscarriage, like I feel like there's some men who handle it differently than others. I handled it very emotionally and very supportively. And Sarah, when she was high and doing okay, I was down low, and she lifted me up. And then vice versa, I was lifting her up when she was lifting, you know, when she was down. So you do have a role in this. I don't want the biggest like mistake you can make as a man in this is to feel like you have nothing to do, or that you're insignificant to the process, because you really do. You have a huge supportive role. You're going to be driving a lot. You're going to be going to doctor's appointments that you think are pointless, because they're just talking about stuff, you know, that doesn't really relate to you. But it's important for you to do that. It's important for you to go. It's important for you to be supportive and loving, and to just not take anything casually, you know. Don't ever think that like it's not that big of a deal, because everything's sort of a big deal, especially when you're dealing with and no offense, a female person who has hormones that are intensely elevated. They have a ton of drugs in their body. You need to, for lack of a better term, walk on eggshells and don't take anything like lightly. You know, if she's in a bad mood, she's going to be really in a bad mood. If she's really sad, she's probably going to be really sad. If she's, you know, happy, she's probably going to be really happy. It's sort of, you just kind of got to be really careful and cautious, and just put her so first, because there's not going to be, there's not much else to do. I mean, you have nothing else to do, so just take this job seriously. Sarah and I early on got in a bunch of fights about like, well, I don't know why I got to go out to that appointment. They're just talking about results. That's stuff they could just tell us on the phone. Why do I have to get up early to go do that? And then one day I was just like, Sarah's getting up really early and injecting herself with needles before work because she has to get up earlier every day. Like, this is the least I can do. And she's going to have to put a baby inside of her body and then get it out. This is the least I can do, is get up for a one a week doctor's appointment and go travel to wherever to go do it. So, I don't know, I just wanted to really send this message to encourage you all that, like, first of all, you're not alone. Men out there in IVF land, or infertility land, you're not alone. I struggle with male factor infertility, so I feel like it would be really easy for you guys to get a complex of like, this is my fault that we're having to do this, and that thought comes in my mind every once in a while, like, if it weren't for me or my body, Sarah would just be able to have a baby, or if she was with somebody else, she might just be able to have a baby. But like, you can't let those thoughts get in your head either. I don't know, man, this topic is huge. I really wish I had more time to talk about this, and if you want to talk about it, or ladies, if you want your men to ask questions, or if you want to ask questions for your men, please let me know. I'm an open book. And not a lot of stuff online or on YouTube about men talking about this. So let's try and break that stereotype a little bit. Share this video if it helps anybody, or if you, I give you permission to push this video out to help encourage people, or link it, send it in a personal message to a man in your life that needs to hear it, and on Facebook. Keep it private, let them kind of make the decision if they want to talk a little bit about it. But we here at Meet the Wheelers, we want to be transparent, and we want to be supportive, and we want to help you guys. So if we can do that by me talking about it and being a little vulnerable, I'll do that. You're not weird, men. If you I've got hammerhead sperm, they're not working properly. It's not weird. It affects a lot more people than you think, and you know, just own it and be supportive. You don't need to go like broadcasting it or wear it on a t-shirt, my sperm don't work, or something like that. But you know, you're not alone. That's the key here. You're not alone, and we're here for you guys. Hey, social links are down in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already to join the journey, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.